I'm Dr. Aviva Ram, and for those of you who don't know me, I am an integrative and functional family medicine physician with a specialty in obstetrics, also with a background in midwifery and herbal medicine. I also have a robust social media presence with about 100,000 followers on Facebook, about 55,000 followers on Instagram, all organic, unpaid traffic. So I want to share with you how you can use social media to leverage your practice, amplify your message, do good work in the world while also using it as a way to build your own business. So the first and most important thing is to pick your platforms. You can't be on every platform and do it well, or even if you try, it's very overwhelming. So for me, for example, Instagram and Facebook are my two main go-to platforms for reaching the general public, but also for creating special behind-the-scenes events for my patients and my groups. I like using those two platforms because you can integrate them really well also. What's published on Instagram can be carried over to Facebook. So you're sort of doing one production value and getting use in both places, whether that's blog sharing, information sharing, video sharing, etc. I'm also active on Twitter and I have a LinkedIn account, but I use those more for my professional relationships as opposed to leveraging and amplifying content to the general public. So pick your two platforms. I do highly recommend Instagram because a lot of, especially younger people, millennials, are using Instagram all the time for information sharing. A lot of people who aren't on Instagram are still on Facebook, and both of those platforms allow you to create really high level, high value content very easily. The next thing that's really important to keep in mind, and it makes it very simple for you, is to keep it natural. I'm sitting here, a little bit of makeup in my office with one simple light in front of me to kind of make it a little brighter. It gives me consistent lighting if I'm doing videos at different times of the day. But you don't have to go crazy with production value. In fact, on Instagram, we've kind of moved away from the time when high production value and selfies and, it was all just so much production to where now actually the more natural images, the shots of you, shots of scenes you're cooking, all of that can be more kind of homegrown. So you don't have to go crazy getting fancy. You can really do this pretty naturally on your own, on your own resources. And the other thing, along with keeping it natural, is I really recommend going for what's called organic traffic. There's paid traffic, which can cost you a fortune. You can do it small, but in general, people you pay to come to your Facebook page, to come to your Instagram page, they're less committed people when it comes to actually purchasing or converting to something that you want them to do next, whether that's join your practice, pay for a program that you're in, whereas natural traffic are people who have found you through word of mouth, through searches for blogs, through appearances that you've given. Maybe you've been on other people's Instagram or Facebook. So lean toward organic traffic. You want to make all of your content really high value. So when somebody comes to your Instagram page or your Facebook page, you're not giving them one sentence and then tell them, go here to buy this or go there to buy that you're selling. What you want to think about is that content that you're giving them right in that moment is super actionable. So, 5 things that you can do to support your immunity and list those 5 things. Or it could be a beautiful picture of something like a reishi mushroom or an echinacea plant, but then in the copy, it says 5 things to do. And that means that they can do it right then, get some benefit. And then what you're creating is something called reciprocity. It's exactly what it sounds like. You give something, they benefit, and then when it comes time to you offering something that may be something that you're using to build your business or to join your practice, they love what you've given. So they want to give back by joining what you have to offer next. So always think about reciprocity. In my mind, it's give, then maybe sell, give, sell. You don't want to come out as just selling all the time. It diminishes your brand. I have a few notes here. When you do provide high value content, you can also link it to other things that you're doing. So you might provide really high value content and then link and say, interested in more, see the link in my bio. That can take them to a blog, or maybe it'll take them to a practice page or a course page. But make sure the value comes first. Now, when you're on social media, whatever platform you're on, keep it pro. Somebody once said to me, don't publish anything on your social media that you wouldn't want on the front page of the New York Times. So be thoughtful about your professional stature and also be thoughtful about your audience. So let's just say that you have a Ferrari and you're posting pictures of you in your Ferrari or on your yacht, and now you're charging an arm and a leg for your practice. The message in people's minds isn't so great, right? This person charges an arm and a leg so that they can buy their Ferrari. So if you want to have a personal page where you post pictures of your yacht, your Ferrari, or your Cessna, or whatever it is that you have, fine. But people can find that too. So think about the things that you say and share about. Are they professional? Are they things that are going to communicate the value system that you want to communicate to the public and to potential customers or patients? And what's the messaging you're giving? Along that same vein, communicate with people the way you would if they were in your practice. So, none of this like common bro language or cis language. If it's someone who's going to come to you professionally, set the tone for how they're going to come to you professionally right then. If you're a doctor, it doesn't mean you have to call yourself doctor on your social media, but engage at a high professional level. And that brings me to another point. Keep in mind that if somebody gives you a comment, they ask you a question about their health, whether or not they're your patient, if you answer them with advice or personal guidance, that can be construed as giving medical advice, and you can be legally liable for that. So think about how you say things, make them informational and not recommendational. It's a really big difference. And think about where you have your disclaimers. One of the things I also want to share with you about the comments, just to end and summarize, is that you've now learned about giving high value content, keeping it natural, keeping it pro, having a focus. Use those comments that come in to data mine. Your comments are the biggest gold mine you can get from social media. They're better than a PR agency and better than a marketing agency because you will hear in real time and in real words what people are asking for. So it'll give you ideas for your next social media posts, your next blogs, but also what you might want to add on or shift or do in your practice and what you might want to create courses and content about. I hope this has been helpful. Social media can be incredibly fun. Just remember to stay safe and stay professional with it. Get creative and enjoy. Talk to you soon.